Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Sashank. Good evening.
Yeah, hi Moumita. Good evening. Just a minute.
Good evening. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good too. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
yeah,
for
great.
joining.
Yeah. Uh, Even I should thank you again for arranging this session.
It is my honor, actually. You speak so well about our, history, art, architecture, Indian independence, and so many things. So I should thank you for giving me this opportunity to,
It's a
be
privilege,
your
right?
host for
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot again.
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, shall we wait for 2 more minutes and start at
Yeah, okay.
7:05
Fine, yeah.
so that we can,
Yeah, let people join. Yeah,
allow
yeah,
more people to join?
yeah, sure.
Okay. In the meantime, Sashank, I would like to know more about you, like about what you do and how you started this journey to
Okay,
be a
fine.
great influencer.
Okay. So, Moumita, actually, I was a UPSC aspirant. So I was preparing for the UPSC exam for 2.5 years, and also
Wow.
I was preparing for a few other government exams. It did not go well. So the way I studied, the way I learned concepts and things, so that helped me to sort of make content. Like the essays I wrote. I mean the questions. I mean the answers I wrote for questions. Like that really helped me to make content. Like I used to write a lot of I used to post a lot of tweets that time, like during my preparation days. So that helped me to draft these tweets into scripts that could be made as videos. And so then I thought, like after I failed in my second attempt, so maybe just try a shot at content creation. So I just started it as an experiment, and it just went really well. Like the first month initially did not go well. I was getting very low number of views, and then I scaled up. So now I'm here. Like in just 6 months, like I've achieved good.
See, probably Ma Saraswati. I am a great devotee of Ma Saraswati. So probably Ma Saraswati had a bigger plan about you. She wanted to make you an influencer, probably to inspire so many people, including
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah,
that we
yeah.
get to learn. Because if you would have passed out your UPSC and you would just be doing your normal government job, but now you are inspiring so many people like us who are day and night waiting for your videos to come up and gain knowledge, because social media these days is a great platform to share knowledge also, if it is utilized in a right way, I guess.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I follow you a lot from the day, I don't know if you remember, I have sent a message that whatever you are doing a great job. May Ma
Yeah, of course, I
Saraswati
do
bless
remember.
you. I've sent it like that.
I mean, like, I want to tell one thing that I read every message. Like, I don't like skip anyone. Like, I don't leave the messages unread. I just read every message. But the thing is, because sometimes when there are too many DMs, I can't reply to each and every message. So it's a little hectic for me. So I read every message. Like, I take criticisms, I take appreciations. So I just wanted to say this so that people get to know. Like I care for everybody's feedback. So that is something I wanted to tell. And also thanks for putting an appreciation message.
Wonderful.
And really, it was a heartful message that you put out on that day. And glad that we could,
When
come up with the session like this.
Yeah, when I get inspired by people like you who are trying to bring a change to the society, uh, but as we all know that there are certain comments which don't go as per our way of thinking, or when we make a post. So sometimes those are little toxic. Yeah, we have to deal with a lot of toxicity as well of social media. But yeah, that is also a great thing, that how we connected and now we are doing a session together, which is quite
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
than this reels, which are generally 15 to 20 seconds.
Yes.
So it's about time. So shall we start
Yeah, sure.
the session?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you, Sashank, on behalf of Moumita Official. So
Thank
my
you.
YouTube
Means a
channel is
lot to me.
Moumita Official. Though I do not have as many followers as you,
Okay.
you have around 2.7K followers on Instagram, and you are also a TEDx speaker, and you are a content creator. You were an UPSC aspirant, and I am sure that this session is going to be knowledge packed. With as the topic for today is about revealing the facts about art and architecture of the
Yeah.
ancient India, from ancient India till today. We'll discuss on various topics about the history of India. So I would start with a question which I have written for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. So my first question will be to let's discuss the significance of the rock cuts or the cave architecture in ancient India. We
Mm.
have this in the examples of significant marvels like Ajanta and Ellora. Okay,
Mm.
and what kind of artistic and cultural themes are depicted in these caves, basically?
First of all, like rock cut architecture and cave architecture are one of the most primary architecture that existed in India. So, what this signifies is this is more of I mean these were all actually created by the Buddhists and Jains of that time, like the Chaityas and Viharas you see in Ajanta and Ellora. This was primarily used as a place of dwelling and worship, and so it later got on to used by a lot of other cultures and civilizations that came subsequently next to all these. And about I mean the beauty of the creation is it existed since I mean Mauryan times. It started from the Mauryan times, almost like maybe in 200 BC or 300 BC, something. I don't remember the exact year. So it started from there, and it just continued until 800 and 900. And I mean the peak of the peak of the rock cut architecture in 800, like the Kailash temple. So an entire two-story temple was carved out of a single rock. And also we know about the, I mean, temples in
The
Mahabali.
Kailash temple.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, Kailash temple and
Yes.
Mahabalipuram temple, to stone temples. So some
Yeah.
rock architecture is something very primary. Like people in those times in prehistoric era did not know how to build a monument from scratch. Like building is different, and also like sculpting and destroying like the stones and all the also stuff to make a monument, like how uh, I mean the Kailash temple was created, like it was created out of destruction, destroying portions of rocks and making it a beautiful monument. So this was the primary architecture in those times. So this led to more such marvelous creation. Yeah.
Right. So, see, I have a connected question to it. Okay. For
Okay.
example, this sometimes it is thought to be a mythological figure. For example, if I talk about the Kailash temple, it's a rock cut
Yeah.
architecture built with one single rock,
Yeah.
and the architects who have made it. There are no ruins of the stones which like near that. When we have studied about history also about the Kailash temple, there are no significant known architect who is described in any of our epics that who built it. It is just said that it was built by one of the weapons of Lord Shiva.
Yeah, like
So, in which
I mean,
aspect do you believe it? Do you believe that it is the yeah?
you believe it is a Sorry, please come again, the end part.
No, no. Do you believe it to be a mythological person who has believed, like made it like Lord Shiva, or do you think that it is made by actual human beings?
I mean,
Because it's a
absolutely
very
not. I
tough job
believe
to build a
it's
single, like two-story monument.
no, no, no. Like I believe, I mean, it's absolutely made by humans that have the same flesh and blood as we have. We have right now. Like it's absolutely again the skill set of the people in that era. Like sculpture was the primary skill they had. Like right now, the kind of skills we have, like computer skills and all these soft skills we have. Those times, the primary skills that people had was architecture, building monuments, sculpting, carving. This was their primary occupation. I mean, like primary skill for an artisan. So it's definitely 100%. It is created by humans. It's not mythology, according to me. Kailash temple is the
Wonderful,
creation of
wonderful.
human beings like
Okay.
you and me. Yeah.
And I feel like as it is a discussion, so if I may convey my opinion, I think they were much more advanced than we are today. In case if we take references from even Ramayana or Mahabharata, we get to know that Ravana had his own spacecraft and so if that could be made in those days, we have just reached the era of Chandrayaan 3 and we landed on the south pole of moon, but Ravana was well more advanced in landing up in even Yamlok. So I think you are very true that they were very advanced and it was being built by human beings. Right.
Uh,
So
like
moving
let's
ahead,
forget about
do you
Ramayana
have anything
because
to share? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, please.
let's forget about Ramayana. But the thing is, I mean, advancement in the sense, and those times, I mean, carving and I mean, bow and arrow, like these kind of skills. These were the primary skills in the market. Like people needed to learn these skills in order to survive. So, what is the skill right now that we need? We don't need sculpting and carving and all. We need a different kind of skills to suit this age. So, in that age, they practice skills that was required in that age. And as you say, I mean, in terms of architecture, like without modern technology, it was again sheer hard work and all that planning and organizing. So, of course, they were advanced in terms of organizing things and building building and making such marvelous monuments. But it can't be totally said that it is
Absolutely.
advanced. Like, of course, I mean, and that if we compare to the architecture, like uh, a single artisan today, if you compare to them, of course, they were very much advanced because they practice the in-demand skills in those times. But today, like we have very less number of artisans, right? We don't see a lot of artisans practicing sculpting and carving. We have migrated to different set of skills which is suitable to this era.
True. True. Yes. So moving ahead, thank you so much. That was very insightful. Moving ahead to the second question I have is like, when and how did modern Indian architecture evolve according to you since the independence of India from 1947, and what are the key movements and architects or trends, including the influence of globalization and sustainable design principles?
uh, I mean, like modern architecture, if you see like the last 20 to 30 years, like it's all been those box shaped one. Like we're mimicking the West. It's not mimicking, but that has
Hmm.
been seemed to be the most aesthetic one. The box type architecture, that the glass type architecture that we've adopted from uh, America and all such places. And so this has been the norm. Like after 1950, there was not much significant focus on architecture. So new styles did not evolve after that. Like new styles did not evolve like I mean from the Mughal era, I think, since the Sultanate era, because since the Sultanate era came, like they invaded India, then occupied India, like it was more of the Islamic architecture. And like just died down totally. Like, it did not evolve into new architectural uh, architectural marvels. Like after that, and then British came, and you know what, they brought in the Christian architecture, their own European architecture, with all those church-like buildings that we see. And so after independence, we haven't seen hadn't seen since 500 years, and we haven't seen after that. So since 20 to 30 years, we have seen this box type architecture that has been coming back. So right now, recently,
True.
one architecture that reminds us of the ancient era is the Ram Mandir itself. So it has got this Nagara style architecture. So that is the only like architecture that is somewhere related to our ancient. Like so, according to me, like there is no such architectural evolution after the independence.
Where is it situated, the Nagara architecture you said just now? I have
Sorry.
no idea about it.
No, Nagara architecture is,
This,
the primary architecture that was practiced in the northern part of India. Like for example, the Khajuraho and Khajuraho temples, the Black
okay.
Pagoda, White Pagoda in
Mm.
Odisha. So these are all examples for, Nagara style of architecture. Like they have their own unique kind of pattern designs and architectural styles of building temples.
True. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
talking about that, I had one question about you.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that the actual history of India, that is before the various invasions or the colonization, or like, by the Britishers, and the
Hmm.
story of the brave kings or true leaders should be included in our history curriculum in schools as well as in colleges?
Of course, absolutely. That needs to be included because all our syllabus, our entire academics has been learning about how we were exploited, how we were looted, how we were massacred. So, what happens? So, this kind of narrative, what that plans in the mind is like, we just don't have a rich history. We're just exploited. It's the invaders that gave us life. So this sort of narrative comes into the mindset of the youth. So and also with all these invasions, if you just talk about only the invaders, what happens? So and you don't really talk about the resistance to all those invasions. You know, the students and the next generation will definitely assume that we did not resist the invasions. We did not put an attempt to resist invasions. But in reality, we did try to resist invasions. Like you see the revolutionaries and the freedom movement, the revolutionaries.
True,
Not
true.
spoken about revolutionaries. Like how many of them know about Surya Sen? Like how many of them know about Preeti Lata Vatela? And how many of them
Mm.
know a lot about Chandrasekhar Azad? There are a lot of revolutionaries, the Chapekar brothers, and not just that. During the 1857 Indian Independence War, like there are a lot of them that fought for independence. Like actually, they fought for independence. They wanted to throw the British out at that time. So they're all stories of bravery. So
Mm.
people need to be taught that because it's a story of inspiration. Like this instills patriotism in the minds. That is something we need. Right. In the parochial world that we're living in, the parochial rising parochialism in the people, nationalism is something that can unite all of us, and that can be done through the help of the syllabus. Syllabus should at least partly be instilling patriotism in the minds, and so hence I believe like it should be included in the
Absolutely.
syllabus. Yeah,
Absolutely. As you said, how many of them know about Preeti Lata Vadedar? How many of them know about Master Da
exactly.
Surya Sen? Like they went through the toughest, kind of punishment given by the Britishers. Like,
Yeah.
if I talk about Master the Surya Sen, his
Yeah.
nails were, broken, his tooth was broken. Through his back part, a rod was shoved inside his back from his back part. How many of them know that? Like,
Yeah. Right.
these are spine-chilling facts, but it feels so bad that our history books only, glorifies the Mughals and
Yeah.
how, what the Mughals did, and we are so most of the revolutionaries like Chandrasekhar Azad or here in South India, even I call it Saraswati Devi and Lakshmi Devi, who were freedom fighters from Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's INA, that is Indian
Yeah. Yeah.
National
Yeah. Light
Army.
Irani regiment. Yeah.
They were not even recognized properly.
Yeah.
Yes, they were not even recognized properly by the government. At least I feel that they should have been, they were alive after independence. They should have been given at least a proper respect. Those who
Yeah.
were like alive and fought for our freedom struggle. So I think their names should be included. That's what I feel. And I think there is much more about India or the history of India before the colonization or after the Mughals came or after the various invasions too. That's absolutely true, and I completely agree with you. So
Yeah.
coming to INA,
Hmm.
I want to ask you a question. I am a great follower of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So I
Yeah.
started following you from that only. So
Okay.
my question is like, do you feel like I feel that Netaji is the liberator of India? What do you think? Do you feel that Netaji was the main reason as he was the actual liberator of India? Because there came many other revolutionaries, okay? Like
Yeah.
we saw RRR in RRR movie also.
Yeah.
What were their name? I'm
Alluri
sorry, I
Sitaram
couldn't recall
Maharaju
their
and
name. But yeah, they were yes. Veluri Sitaraman, and the other one was some Ram Sitaraman, and someone else was there. I'm really sorry, I could not recall their name. But yeah, there were revolutionaries from all the parts of India, from Punjab, from West Bengal, from southern part of India, from northern part of India, right, from Odisha. But in the end, we see that it was claimed by Clement Attlee and also by many other Britishers also, who say that okay, it was because of Netaji that we got the actual freedom. Netaji forced the Britishers to leave. So what, according to you, who is the actual liberator of India?
so what happens, like, of course, Netaji, put the final nail in the coffin, as they say. INA, I mean, the INA trials that happen is famously called as the final nail in the coffin of the British Empire in India. So let's see what happened. Like in 1942, like Bose escaped to Germany, met Hitler, and I mean, he took a submarine and came to Singapore. Like there's already the INA. I mean, INA was a prisoner. So INA was formed by, the prisoners that was caught by the Japanese. So Raj Bihari Bose had been leading INA for some time. So when Bose came, so he immediately
Yes, Raj Bihari Bose
passed on
found
the
it. Yes,
leadership to
yes.
him. So he happily passed on the leadership to him. So and Bose, formed groups from all caste, religion, region, and he exclusively had a women regiment also. So he inspired them. So we all know the famous quote: "Give me blood, I'll give you freedom." So he inspired them to fight. So until then, like there was no such exclusive Indian army that was fighting against the British. So it is again Subhash Chandra Bose that led the first army, like first Indian army to fight against another power. Another power is just British India itself. So he inspired them to fight, and they fought against the British, the Allied power. They were very powerful, they're very strong. So they defeated the INA very easily. And also,
Mm.
like a lot of we seeing all the INA interviews, and like the speeches and the quotes that they had said. Like they knew, like they were no match against these forces. their plan was just to instill patriotism in the minds of the Indians. Like, they wanted to inspire the Indians to fight against the British. They wanted to start a revolution through their fight, and it eventually did. I mean, consequently, that is the thing that happened. Like after that, I mean, the Britishers still were adamant to stay in India. They did not want to leave. So, and again, they wanted to punish the. We were always known. I mean, the British policy, like they just crushed all these dissent and opposition. So they wanted to again teach a lesson to the Indians. So they took the three INA prisoners. Like, it's not we calling prisoners; they are martyrs. Like, uh, I mean, I don't remember the names. Like Guru Baksh Singh and two others from different religions, Hindu, Muslim, and
Shahnawaz Khan,
yeah,
Shahnawaz,
Shahnawaz Khan and
yeah, Shahnawaz Khan was one of them.
some Singh Dilon or something. Three, I mean, INA prisoners. They took them. They put them to
Yes,
trial.
Mr.
So
Dillon.
that
Yes.
like really, an outcry happened in India, entire India. Like even the Indian National Congress was in support of these prisoners.
Mm.
So I mean, like with this, and it culminated into revolts and all the mutinies in the navy and the armies of the Indian Army. I mean, the British Indian Army and the Navy, of course. And so then British started shivering, like because they were ruling India uh, because of the support of the army they had. They could control all the Indians because of the army they had set up, and the army was full of Indians, of course. And when that loyalty eroded against the British, and they started sharing, and they got to know, okay, I mean, if the forces cannot be trusted anymore, I think it's not time, like it's not good to stay in India. So they just quit. So definitely, Bose had a huge role to play
Mm.
in driving out the Britishers. And of course, by saying that, I would not deny that
So,
there are other freedom fighters not doing anything. Like again, it's the hard work of those 100 years,
absolutely
like
not.
from 1857 to 1947,
Each and
90
everyone.
years. Yeah, 90 years. A lot of
Yes.
freedom fighters have struggled, like in their own ways. And at the end, again, at the climax, again, it's Bose that liberated India.
Yeah, exactly. Like for these 90 long years, each
Yeah.
of our freedom strugglers have, made their contribution, be it by giving their lives or playing even a small role, even if
Yeah.
they are alive today. But we must not forget that it is because only
Mm.
for them that we are leading a life uh,
Yeah.
of this independent India. As we were discussing about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel,
Yeah.
so like how did like we have seen in your reels also, like it is a connecting question to Vedant only, that
Mm.
what according to you was the role of Sardar Patel,
Mm.
to save India from further partition of India after
Um,
independence?
so what happened, like when Britishers left, like I mean, uh, Mountbatten Plan. So what he like we all know, like in Indian Independence Act, according to that Indian Independence Act, they gave uh, three choices to the princely states, and out of this three, like one choice was to
Mhm.
merge with the Indian Union, and the second one was to merge with Pakistan Union, and the third one was to remain independent. So if you give that third choice, like every ruler, like obviously, like you do not want to be a part of another entity. Like that is obvious choice. See, this was basically planned to balkanize India. This was Britishers' plan to balkanize India. So they thought, okay, if we give such a choice to the princely states, India will just break away. And Patel, like uh, he was very confident that he could merge a lot of princely states. I mean, almost every princely states. Like he used this tool called Privy Purse. Okay, like let's not just put him. Like it was the government that came up with this thing called Privy Purse. Privy Purse was a pension that was being, I mean, pension given to the princes, like the prince and the kings. Like it's a pension. So if they join the
Okay.
Indian Union, they'd be paid an annual pension. Like it's a hefty pension. It was around lakhs. So lakhs was just way too high 70, 80 years ago. So that was a choice he offered. And also he had developed very good friendly relations with all those princely states. So with just these two techniques, he almost merged almost 560 princely states to India. So I mean, the thing was very easy. And not just that, like princely states did not really have any power in them. Like, they had very limited powers, even though I mean, we all know like they're under the suzerainty of British. They did not really have power. Now the power was transferred to India and Pakistan. Like even now they don't have enough power, so they knew like even if we are independent, like we don't have enough resources to stay as a country, so hence they joined India. And now there were 3 to 4 adamant princely states that like opposed Patel. Like take Hyderabad. Like Hyderabad is very much inside India, and he wanted to join Pakistan. I mean, like, he wanted to be independent, the Nizam. Like, sorry, he wanted to be independent. And Junagadh, the Nawab of Junagadh, he wanted to join Pakistan. So he got, because of the offer he got from Jinnah. And there are also a few adamant seats, like the Bhopal one,
Yes.
and also the Jodhpur, Jodhpur Prince. There were they're adamant, like they wanted to remain independent. Some of the princes remained independent. So Nizam, like we all know what Patel did. He took military action, like because they are not ready to listen. Could not talk peace to them. You can't just put a table in the opposite and talk and sort things, because he was not ready. He was resorting to violence. We all know the Razakars'
True.
violence, against genocide against Hindus. We all know that. So that happened, and so
True.
Patel had to take immediate action, or else, I mean, if Hyderabad would have been independent, it would definitely been cancerous to India. Like it's inside India, and inside India, if there's one state which is independent, it's a different country. There are chances. I mean, like India could just break apart. Like the cancer could just spread to other states. So hence, Patel wanted to ensure Hyderabad remains with India. So he took military action, and he liberated Hyderabad. So and it was merged with India. And so and then Junagadh, like Junagadh, Nawab was really willing to join Pakistan. And then again, like Patel, he just wanted people to take a decision. So it was against people's wishes that
True.
the Junagadh Nawab uh, went and seek refuge. Like he wanted to join Pakistan. And then Patel knew, like, he knew people's wishes, and he also knew the importance of Junagadh being in India. So again, he annexed Junagadh. He sent the military. He annexed Junagadh, and also Bhopal. Bhopal merger was very easy. Just had a dialogue with him, and it happened. Like even the Travancore, Travancore, like more sort of uh, people themselves help Patel to merge that particular state to the Indian Union. But the thing that still haunts today is, we know, it's Kashmir. Like it's still a thorn in the skin is the
Yes.
Kashmir one. And initially Patel wanted to exchange Hyderabad with Kashmir. But then seeing Jinnah's actions with respect to Junagadh, and he was like, okay, I want Kashmir too. Like I'm not going to leave Kashmir. Like Jinnah doesn't stand with his words, so why should I? Like I want Kashmir. And also Nehru was very insistent on keeping Kashmir with India. So that is why he forged a very good relationship with Sheikh Abdullah in that time. And then we all know, like Pakistan really wanted to take Kashmir into them, like wanted to capture Kashmir. for themselves. They sent the tribes and along with them the army, and then we all know the story. Like India, like immediately, I mean, Indian government took action. Like they got the instrument of accession signed. The Maharaja joined, Kashmir joins India, and India sends military. I mean, the army to push out the Pakistani raiders. So they were pushing, and Nehru went to UN, and UN just ordered a ceasefire, and that today stands as POK. So it was fairly like Patel really did have a huge role. Not just Patel, Patel was accompanied by VP men. So they used three tools. Like one was diplomacy,
Hmm.
two was trickery, and the third one, as I mentioned in my one of the videos that I relate to Chanakya, the Sam Dand Bhed. So that one. So he used all these tools to unify India.
Hmm.
So a lot of credits needs to be given to Patel.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Hmm. Absolutely.
yeah.
Sam Dam Dandaved is a
Yeah,
a
so he
principle
used, I
applied
mean,
by
like,
Chanakya. Absolutely. The
like
second one,
I just want to tell one thing about Patel.
yeah,
Like, he was not an idealist. He did not want to solve, like, we all know Nehru was an idealist. So he thought, like, if you just put a table in front of the person and you just talk to him, he thought like people would just get convinced. But in reality, it doesn't work that way. Patel really knows that. Like, some people have to be dealt in a different way. So he dealt the Nizam violently.
according to me, Nehru did not have a backbone.
Yeah.
I might be rude, I might be sounding rude. Nehru did not have any backbone only. That's how I feel. Yeah, you may please continue because if I get to Nehru, I'll be very aggressive and angry because I do
No,
not
no,
like that
no.
person at all. I don't know
No, it's
how
not like
he
that.
become the first prime
Because
minister of India.
he was a leader. The thing is, his idealism needs to be criticized because we can't judge people. I
Absolutely.
mean, people of the past based on today's circumstances. So of course, Nehru did a lot of blunders, mistakes. So we can't totally judge him totally wrong because again, it was his character. Like it was how he was brought up. Like he was a staunch Gandhian. He followed Gandhian ideals. So his diplomacy wasn't right at that time. Like his idealism was not correct because again we know from the lessons of
Mm.
the Hyderabad merger and the Junagadh merger. Some people have to be dealt in a different way. You can't just talk peace with everyone. You can't be friends with everyone.
Absolutely.
There'll be enemies. There'll be some that act against
Absolutely.
you, and you can't convince them. Like, that is what Chanakya Acharya has told. Like, has it in his theories.
Yeah,
There
Sam,
are some
Dam, and
people.
Dand and Bhed. Like there are
Yeah,
four things, no? There are four
these are all
principles.
techniques like tools to resolve a conflict. So Patel used this method to resolve this particular conflict. All in his mind was to unify India, whatever happens. Like he did not care about the means. It was always about the ends, the goal. The goal was to unify India. So these were, I mean,
Correct.
the means that he used: violence, diplomacy, friendship, trickery, all these.
Yeah, that was required. That was the need of the hour. Or else, if it was possible through mutual understanding, then that would also have been done by Patelji.
Yeah,
Right. So I'm going back again to the era before independence. Right. So as I am a woman and also uh, I am connected to Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the youth and community empowerment, and
okay.
also I speak on human rights and dignity for India. Right.
Yeah.
So I have a one question related to women. Uh, I'll just ask that. Okay, one
Yeah.
second. Can you share your views about the role of women in Indian history, highlighting the notable female leaders like Rani Lakshmi Bai, Aruna Asaf Ali, or
Mm.
Preeti Lata Vadedar, which you mentioned, and
Yeah.
highlight and other, some scholars or reformers, and
Mm.
examining the challenges they faced and the contributions they made.
Uh, So women's contributions have been minimal compared to men, but there have been a lot of contributions that are not brought into light that much. So reformers, we had reformers like Jyotiba Phule, like she was against caste discrimination. She was totally against caste discrimination, gender discrimination. Uh, you know, sorry, Savitribai Phule and Jyotibai Phule. I mean,
Mahatma Jyoti hopefully, yes, yes.
so they were very significant in putting the caste discrimination out, and not just them. Like even if you go back and 300 years, 400 years back, like we had Mirabai. You all know Mirabai, right? She was a saint. Like in those times, like women were stopped from, you know, being, practicing that monk thing. What do you call it? I mean, celibacy. Because those times like thousand
Hmm.
years ago, like the practice was like women had to be married in very young ages, and uh, they were just confined to homes. Women had their own rules. Like, it's not that it was discrimination.
Hmm.
Like the society just gave a role to women, gave another role to a man. But in that time, like we had Akka Mahadevi. She was a poet. She was one of the greatest poets. We had a lot of women poets, like
Yes.
women poets. I mean, there are a lot of works from them,
Yes.
and also a lot of. I mean, Bharatanatyam is mainly practiced by women, right? So Bharatanatyam and a lot of such. If you go back 500 years, so recently, if you take 200 years before, like during I mean, the struggle for independence, we had so many women. Like, I mean, the revolutionary women revolutionaries, especially Preeti Lata Watedar, Beena Das. Beena Das was a teacher. Like she inspired several revolutionaries like her. So Subhash Chandra Bose had been inspired from all these women also, and that is where he got that idea that women too can
Yes.
be a part of the struggle. Like women can also fight; they can resist.
Yes. He like opened a regiment, Rani
Yeah,
Jhansi regiment, inspired
exactly.
by Rani Lakshmi Bai
Yes,
of
yes.
Jhansi.
And also, like before that, we had a lot of women, like Jhansi Rani, Lakshmi Bhai, and we had one. You must heard about Vanake Obava. So she's from Karnataka, she's from Chitradurga. Like when Hyder Ali's forces
Right. Right. Right.
try to barge into the fort, like we had that. She had that Vanake. Vanake is that kind of. It's like a weapon, like it's a tool. Like they used to. Uh, you know they use it for agricultural purposes. I don't really know the name of that in English. So it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
weapon. So
Kind of act.
we use that to,
Kind of act.
yeah, she killed around 500 to 600 forces, I mean soldiers of Hyder Ali. Like she single-handedly uh, you know saved that entire fort from being sieged from Hyder Ali's forces. That is again an act of bravery. So that has happened. I mean, Velu Nachar,
Mm.
Tamil Nadu. Like there have been so many. Like we've heard a lot of stories about
I
women. Yeah, I mean, like women
we
taking
get
part.
goosebumps listening to this, and we still do not know so many facts.
Yeah, yeah. There are so many stories, of course. Like women, like they have great. Not just. I mean, I just spoke about violence. Like it was also Aruna Asaf Ali during the Quit India movement. Like every leader was arrested at that time.
Yes.
Like, on the day Quit India movement was launched, every leader, literally, it was leaderless totally. Because Aruna Asaf Ali, she worked underground. She used that radio to communicate about the movement, about the fight against British, like that movement in the radio, like it reached to every part of India. So the movement was still alive. So again, like she had a role in that. So there have been lots of stories that women have taken part in India.
Okay, so I am also one of the women. I am also a patriot by heart,
Okay.
and I sometimes wish I was born in that era so that I could play a role. I can't be compared to those, significant souls because I am nothing in front of those wonderful leaders, like who
Yeah,
could, give their life for to just for somebody who doesn't even recognize them now, right?
yeah,
So, but I am an entrepreneur. So, as we are talking about art and architecture, so we also have architectural tourism, and I'm an entrepreneur in the field of tourism industry, right? So, I have one question which is related to art, architecture, and also history, which
mm.
is also connected to tourism. So, my question about tourism is like, do you think that mainly, historical and architectural tourism play important roles in promoting the rich heritage and beautiful art and architecture of our country.
Absolutely. It does promote like historical uh, tourism, right? Historical. Can you come again? Historical.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
historical tourism, architectural tourism,
Yes,
pilgrimage
of course.
tourism.
Like, see,
Yeah.
now I just told you about Onake Obawa. So this incident really happened in Chitradurga Fort.
Hmm.
So that Chitradurga Fort still has that stone and that place where that particular place where Onake Obawa smashed the skulls of 500 men of Hyder Ali. So I mean, when you listen to this story, obviously you want to visit that particular place. Like, no, I just told you the story. You might just get inspired to go and visit Chitradurga Fort tomorrow. So, and you remember I made a video on Kailash Temple.
Absolutely.
So I made a video so that it
Yes, yes,
evokes
yes.
some interest, like it inspires people to go and visit that. Like a lot of people just don't know that there's such a monument that exists. All we've just been learned from childhood is about the Qutub Minars, the Char Minars, and the Taj Mahals. We don't know much about the
Hmm.
Khajuraho Temple, the Puri Jagannath Temple, Tanjavur Brihadeshwara Temple. I mean, a lot of North Indians don't know about it. Not just that, and also Kailash Temple. These are all architectural marvels.
Absolutely.
Like if we understand the history about all these places, like if we understand the history about Khajuraho Temple, like if we understand the history of Tanjavur Temple, we get inspired to go and visit that
Right.
place. And also, not just that, like the government has
Yeah,
been
in
doing.
fact, even in Karnataka,
Yeah, I mean Karnataka, of course, like a lot of temples.
yes,
We can tell
even in fact in Karnataka, we have so many magnificent temples like Chennakeshwara temple in Halebidu. We
yeah,
have Hoysaleshwara temple in Chennakeshwara temple is in Belur. In Halebidu, we have Hoysaleshwara temple. We
yeah,
have Sri Kanteshwara temple, which falls on the way from Mysore to Bangalore. I
yeah,
never knew such kind of beautiful architecture exists in India until I was taken by the driver who told us that. Even being from the tourism industry, we are still unaware of such architectural marvels. You trust me, in case if we like make videos, like influencers like you, if you start making more videos on those also, I think it can attract a lot of tourism and also develop the states as well as the country's economy.
yeah, absolutely. The I mean,
So,
like
like we spoke about tourism. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, like I
Please,
just
please,
wanted to
please
tell
go
that.
ahead. I think
No, like my work has been part of that because when I started, like there are a lot of unexplored temples, like not just temples, like unexplored monuments that were built by our ancestors back 1,500 years. We don't get
mm,
to read in our school books. So it was. I just thought, okay, maybe we just make videos about this. I mean, let's enlighten people about these monuments, that there are such monuments that exist. They have a rich history and rich heritage behind them. And so my work basically started by that.
so, like I would just ask you like one random question. Okay, like suggest me three places which you, according to you, I must visit or everybody must visit, like a place of historical importance, which is very magnificent in the southern part of India.
In
Yeah,
southern part, okay.
majorly.
uh, the first one I would like to tell is the Tanjavur Brihadishwar temple. So we call it Tanjavur Periya Koil in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
And the second one would be, I mean, like this has got rich history because there's an 80-ton slab placed over that, and it's a temple that has resisted earthquakes since 1,000 years. It hasn't even inclined to a single degree. It is
Wow.
built that strong. So I would suggest the first one, and the second one is in Karnataka, the Hampi temples, the temples in Hampi, very aesthetically very beautiful. Rocket temples, all of that, and Channakeshava temple
Oh,
is also
oh.
it's carved out of a
Yeah,
single
I
rock.
have been to that.
You might have, okay, that's nice, that's fine.
Yes,
And
beautiful. It's beautiful.
yes,
It's beautiful.
of course. So these are three temples, and also the
Have
Mahabalipuram.
you visited? Have you visited? Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Have
yeah.
you visited any temple in the northern part of India, or eastern part of India, or western part?
Um Northern part, I have visited Madhya Pradesh. I have visited the Khajuraho temples. So it was long back. It was around 15 years ago. And also I've been to Vaishno Devi temple once. And
Wow, nice.
yeah, and also Mahakaleshwar, the one in Madhya Pradesh.
Ujjain, Ujjain.
Mahakaleshwar.
Ujjain,
These
yeah,
are
Ujjain, yeah, yeah. Ujjain
right.
is
These
not
are
in
all
Madhya Pradesh.
Shakti peaks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this was in childhood. I
These are
was
all Shakti
7 or 8
peaks,
years
and
old
you know,
that time.
I would suggest you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Please. Yeah, Moumita, please. No, no, you were about to suggest
I
something.
yeah, I would suggest you to visit. Yeah, I would suggest you to visit Ma Kamakhya temple, which is one of the major Shakti peaks. Like you have
Okay, okay.
went to Vaishno Devi and also Mahakaleshwar temple. So
Yeah.
those are also Shakti peaks, but there are four major Shakti peaks. One is
Mm.
in Pakistan,
Mm.
current Pakistan, and the three others are still in like India. Okay, and so
Mm.
Ma Kamakhya temple is one of the major Shakti peaks. You must visit that, and
Mm.
I am sure you will be intrigued by that. You have recently been to Darjeeling, I saw in your post. So that
Yeah.
is very near to that. For
Okay, okay,
going to
okay.
Makamakya temple, you have to land in Guwahati because it's in Guwahati. It's
Okay.
beautiful. Ahom dynasty, one of the major dynasties of India.
Yeah.
Uh, like they are the like largest dynasty of India. Uh,
Yeah.
So it was created by the Ahom dynasty. Yes. So the thing is, I have a lot more questions to ask you, but we are already like 1 hour now speaking,
Yeah.
and I do not want to waste more of your energy. So, in case if anybody has any questions, Vedant or anybody else, anybody would like to ask a question, they may please go ahead. And I thank Sashank so much for inspiring me with his insightful knowledge. Like I got to learn so much today. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Sashank, I need one more session with you.
Yeah, sure.
I need one more session with you. Please
Of
do
course.
not say
We
no to
can
me.
talk more. Yeah, there's so much to talk. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Even I thank you for this wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, anybody, if you have any questions, one, I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you. I
Thank
have
you. I
my
have
brother.
my brother.
My
My
brother wants
brother
to
Hi,
wants
ask
sir.
to
a
ask a
question to
question
you,
to you,
Sashank.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Sure.
Hi,
Hi,
sir.
great.
Uh, I'm a student actually. So my question will be like, if we analyze the architectural style of South Indian temples, such as those in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, like what distinguishes Dravidian or South Indian architecture from North Indian
So,
architectures?
in North India, you've seen Puri Jagannath temple, right? Puri Jagannath temple, the Sun temple. Like you can see the tower. Like what shape does it have? It has a curvilinear shikara, right? That is
Yes,
called a
yes.
shikara. That tower. It's in a curvilinear shape. But in South, you come
Okay.
on top of the Garbhagriha. I mean, Garbhagriha is where the deity is placed. The
Yes.
deity is consecrated. So on top of that, we have the tower is pyramidical
Haha.
in south, and we have this gopurams as the
Yes.
entrance. We don't find these gopurams in the north, and also we
Yes.
have boundary walls in the south, southern temples, mostly.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
and also like. that is in a totally raised platform. Like we call it, this is not in a raised platform. The South Indian temples usually are not in the raised platforms. And
Okay.
we also see the Madurai Meenakshi temples. Like there are around
Yes.
27 gopurams. Okay, and also there's also a pond beside the temples. So this
Yes.
pond we don't find in the northern temples.
Yes.
The ponds.
Especially in South India, we find
Yeah.
those.
And like we have this Bhoga Mantapa, Kalyana Mantapas, like
Hmm.
it's in front of the Garbhagriha. So these
Yes.
mantaps and they don't exist in southern temples.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir, for your insights.
Thank you.
I'll also tell you one fact which is
Yeah,
related to my birthplace, Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, I was born in Arunachal Pradesh.
yeah,
See, there are there are many Buddhists in Arunachal Pradesh now. But
yeah.
when we grew up and we were studying in kindergarten or first or second standard, we came to know that they worship sun and moon, which is known as Doni Polo in the
Okay,
local tribal language.
okay.
Okay, so that is also one kind of religion. Those are sub religions, you can say, of Hindu. So it's
Subsequent.
not only the big religions like Buddhism, Jainism, Judaism, Sikhism. This all originated in India, but there are also sub religions which exist in the rural parts of our country, and they worship it in their own way, and that is the beauty of, I think, our Sanatan Dharma.
Yeah, exactly. Like because see the reason, I mean the fact that we have around 36 million gods is a testament to the fact that there is no one single entity or book that dictates the entire religion. Like people can practice worship, they can create their own gods and worship them by themselves. Nobody is going to come and attack you for that. There are various ways, like people can create their own ways of worshiping here.
Yeah.
Not just like we only have dedicated types of
Even
uh,
if you worship yourself,
yeah,
yes, even if you worship yourself, also you are a Hindu. Like,
yeah,
because we believe that there is Narayan within us.
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
Okay, so without delaying further, we have lot of questions. It will keep on
Yeah.
going on, but it's
Yes,
already
yes,
one
yes.
and a half hours, and we are, taking out energy of Sashank like anything. We have so much to ask from him, but we'll
Yeah,
come
man,
back
yeah.
again another day with some more, questions. Keep that noted, and we'll meet another day very soon. I hope Sashank allows me and gives me the opportunity once again to do another session. And
Sure,
Sashank,
sure.
do let me know if I can contribute in video making, because I love the way you make the videos. I don't know to make
Yeah,
such
yeah,
good
man,
videos like you,
welcome,
but I
man.
had one channel and I discuss on similar topics. So do
Okay.
let me know in case I can help in any way possible. Thank you so much for joining me today and everybody else who contributed to this wonderful session. I wish you all a very happy night, good night, and Jai Hind.
Yes, yes. Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Shubharat.
Hey.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jai Hind.